Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about this 5000 watt hybrid inverter. Just a quick update. I've got some questions asked about batteryless inverters and how they work and operate. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that too. Now it's about 11 o'clock. Just after 11 in the day. It's a good solar day. The solar panels are putting out a lot of energy. We can see at right now they are putting out 2.18 kilowatt out from the panels, and they are going into the battery. Let's see, we are charging the battery at about 2.03 kilowatt. Battery is 96%. It's almost full. This is a 10 kilowatt battery and it's at 9.36. There it is at the top. So it's almost full. Now for today's demonstration, we have this hot plate and we have a blow dryer. And we also have this fan that we're gonna test. All right. Now let's plug some of the appliance in and then we see what changes happen on the battery and also the inverter. All right, let's plug this hot plate in. Here we go. All right, so the inverter remains the same. It's still putting out 2.17. Let's see what happens to the battery. Now we can see there's less power going into the battery because now the hot plate is using some of the power. Now we have 1.23 going to the battery. All right, we're going to plug on that. Let's plug the fan in. All right, see, even less going to the battery. So the more power you constantly take from the inverter, the less power will go to the battery. So there. All right, we'll try. Let's start the blow dryer. Oh, it's a bit loud, but as you can see, we're still producing the same amount of power. That's the maximum I'm getting from the solar panels, about 2 kilowatts, just over 2 kilowatts. And now look at that, we are now taking power from the battery, just a small amount. That is, let's touch this again, that is 0.16. Whenever you see the negative, that means power is coming from the battery. When there is no negative, that means power is going to the battery. So to run these three equipment, they're all using way a little bit over 2 kilowatts. So now to compensate, the battery has to fill in the void to help the solar panels. Now look what would happen if you have a batteryless inverter. It just works on demand. Once you add more load than the power you produce, the inverter would stop. It would stop producing power to that appliance. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn the breaker off for the solar panel and see what would happen, if the equipment would stop or what. Alright, here we go. So let's turn this breaker off. This is the breaker from the solar panel. Alright, as you can see the solar panel icon, it left. So no more power coming from the panels, 0 kilowatt coming down, but everything still runs and the fan still goes. And the reason for that is the battery now has taken up all the load. So look at that. The battery now has taken up all the load and is running everything off its own. as we speak. So if you have a house, you want to run a house, batteryless inverters are nice. Most of the modern inverters are batteryless inverters. They can run without a battery. You don't have to have a battery. But if a cloud comes over and there's no more solar, the inverter would just stop work, because you need this constant solar for the inverter to keep running, because you don't have a battery to take up the load whenever there is no solar. So batteries are important. Even though batteryless inverters, they are just as good. All right. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna turn back on the solar and watch what happens. All right. So solar is back on. All right. See, the icon is back, and you can see immediately it starts to ramp up. It starts to send power instantly. That is it. All right, let's see what happens now to the battery. Now less load now is coming from the battery immediately. So now our battery is is not losing a lot of power. I'm gonna just take I just take the fan out and see what happens. All right, we have unplugged the fan, and right away you can see it's taking even less power now from the. We're gonna stop the. Yes, let's take the blow dryer off, and instantly it starts to charge back the battery. So power is now going back into the battery. 1.29 kilowatt going back into the battery. So just give you an idea how the inverter work compared the solar panels and the battery. They work tandem. So if there's no solar coming, the battery will take up the load. If the solar come, the sun is out again, the sun will go directly to your appliance. It doesn't come to the battery. The only time the battery comes into place is when there's not enough solar to run the specific equipment you're running. Then the battery now will send power to supplement the difference, to keep your equipment constantly running. So it's nice to have a good sized battery that can store enough energy to bring you through the cloudy days or even through the nights. Okay. Now I know batteries, the question always asks about the price of the batteries. Batteries are expensive, but you see the necessity of them, because without the battery, all of my appliances would just stop work once there is no solar. So that's the importance of having a battery on this hybrid system that we have here. All right, so that's basically a quick update on that, and the system is gone back to charging the battery again. We're going to, let's turn back down the appliances one more time and see what happened to the charge. All right, here we go. All right, so right away turn on back the blow dryer. You can see the charging light is gone. It stopped charging. It's now taking power again, just a small amount from the battery, just to help out the panels to keep the blow dryer going, and also the hot plate. All right, so that's just another quick update on the system, and the system works well. Like I said, anybody have any other question you want to ask about this system, free to ask. I'll try and answer them in videos as we go on. I chose these appliances because they use a lot of energy, and it's sometimes it's hard to find small appliances to use over 2 kilowatt. The I had on previous videos I've shown the solar panel. There are 9 panels on the roof running this particular inverter. Let's just see, go back to the right. So they put out at currently they are putting out 2.23. That's I've seen them put out about 2.3. That's the most I've seen them put out in kilowatt. And it's directly, once the sun is directly overhead, that's the most you're gonna have seen coming out of these solar panels. But that is quite fine, because by the time you stop using your appliances, this battery will be charged so quickly. It's almost full. It's at 96% as we speak. So I just plug the hot plate out, and as you see, it's gonna go up. It's now 2.07 kilowatt going to the battery, and you see it goes 97. So very quickly this is gonna be full charge, and once it's full charge, for the rest of the day you're almost, you would say you're not wasting energy, but you're not using the energy. More energy can be produced to be used, but you're just not using it. All right. So thanks for watching. Just a quick update on the solar setup. And I'll catch you in another video. All right.